sure I hear myself. Just gotta see a little bit of that red. Alright, there you go, there you go. So this stream is running a little later than I expected, everybody. You know, Dust was doing his Nintendo Direct recap, and since he never got to actually react to it, maybe because he had prior unexpected commitments, I decided to let him have his time so that he can talk about. He's still streaming, by the way, but you know, he's gonna be playing Ghosts and Goblins, so really short on my end. I thought I would update you guys a little on this. Let me switch to Yuna. I use this as like an opportunity to give some other guys some clout. Actually, I'm gonna want Walker because he has a counter-attack ability. But I have everyone's grinding weapon set up, so we don't have to fight Shinryus anymore. We don't have to fight Ultima Busters or steal from knee slugs. That's great because you saw how time-consuming that was. Now we just gotta, you know, farm regular spheres from Kosos, fortune spheres from Earth Eater, and AP from Don Tomberry. There is one problem though, which is the fact that Yuna still doesn't have her Comrade Overdrive set up. When I can get that started, that'll be good. Okay, I got Dark Matters instead. And I forgot to do the skill to turn that into like regular spheres. But it's only been like 2, so I'm gonna need Extract Mana. I've been telling everyone that this would be such a short experience and that I'd mostly off-screen this, and I have off-screened this. But I haven't had anything prepared for us to like watch something a little more active. And I kind of like that because it lets me perform a chill stream, which I always thought Final Fantasy X was perfect for chill streams because the post-game is such a grindy, repetitious experience that I could, for the most part, keep it in the back of my head while actively engaging with commentary, which I think is a great thing. But I'm hoping my homie doesn't get like that with me, but he probably has a Discord notification. Hold up, I just realized something. Kotos, like, the underwear that he wears, like, he clips on through. So we see a little bit of a background and it's like shifting and modulating with the textures of the grass. Could we have seen some Kotos cock? Damn. That's something to think about. One thing I have noticed is that people kind of want it both ways. They want me to play these heavily action-oriented games, but do it all with my subconscious while I focus my conscious mind, not even on my soapbox commentary, but on directly replying to what everybody's telling me, so it doesn't work that way. You gotta kind of wait on downtimes and just chill with that shit. I'm gonna do it 3 times with Monosphere and then 2 times with the other. So I gave my opinion direct not too long ago, but people were kind of concluding with a scale of 1 to 10. I gave it an 8 because there was pretty much something for everyone there, and you gotta look at these showcases more like, you know, an NBA conference. NBA, not N, for those who didn't hear close enough. So you're not going to get every fan servicey 10 years anticipated video game announcement. But if you got something for RPG players, action players, fans of shooters, sports game players, you know, social games, esports, just covering every demographic of gamer there is, that's perfectly fine. In fact, that's how you do it, especially if we have, you know, some stuff that is more nichely anticipated, hotly anticipated. If there's a little bit of diversity in that, it's not just a AAA fest, an indie fest, there's some middle budget shit. Doesn't get any better than that. I did say I was going to stream my reaction to the Sony thing, but that one was pretty brief. You had a Ryo na whatever, like a dragon game, Ishin. That looked cool, but I never knew about that thing, so it kind of went under my radar. I like when things that have a modern setting are reinterpreted with a more ancient thing. Pokemon Arceus recently did that, and I think that's a cool aesthetic. Like, if you ever saw old footage of a neighborhood you've been to from 200 years in the past, it always looks dank as hell. Tekken 8, obviously I'm a fan of Tekken for the Fides and shit like that. And this one seems to have some major storyline implications, which I've noticed is a trend with fighting games where they're trying to really bring climax and the feeling of finality to them. Because people really do want story-driven stuff with everything now. They don't just want like esports stuff anymore. We're starting to see the consequences of only appealing to the esport player with, you know, all the stuff going on with Overwatch 2 and shit like that. And obviously God of War has another on the story of, you know, the whole Ragnarok thing. I kind of like the father-son dynamic that it's playing. It's pretty much the only thing I really care for when it comes to these new God of War games 2018 onward. Because, you know, this is an opportunity to see Kratos kind of make right with his losses in the past with his new family. So to kind of contend with the possibility of that all coming under jeopardy again is an interesting arc, now that we're intimately familiar with Kratos as a character and the shit that he's been through. And it cannot just be relegated to backstory, but he can re-experience and really even prevent these tragedies now that we're actively engaged with his story and our participants. But in terms of world building stuff, when it comes to like hard polytheism, I prefer the soft polytheism, tech narratives. When it gets to the hard end and you get to see like pantheons differentiated, that's when I don't like it so much. I prefer when the different pantheons are interpretations of the same true pantheon, as opposed to, oh yeah, you just ran down on all the Greek deities and now we're gonna run down on all the Norse ones. That don't really work for me. So this is one of those ironic things where I prefer the intimate character interactions over the overarching narrative, which some games do accomplish that pretty well. So I'm not going to say that's an outlier, but it's against the trend that I've been into, which is focus on the lore, focus on the conveyance rather than the conveyance of deep personal character interactions. But then again, that is what I'm into when it comes to Naruto. I wasn't so into the lore stuff back in the day the way I am now. I was just into like seeing Naruto get his life on track. You know, that Eve hack and slash game, I know Night Sky Prince is really interested in it. It doesn't grab me. Now, if you got Lost Soul aside, because that's like a similar, heavily inspired action game that's on like a smaller creative vision, with like Chinese guys getting a chance to shine, that would be interesting for me, but that's about it. Let me get some power and then I'll get some speed later on. I might want to use a distiller item so I'm not dealing damage. That would be the more efficient way of doing it, because I can get her overdrive set up better. Because this is the last thing I really need to like do setup work with. If this is actually contributing, because I'm just doing like surface level research on this, as opposed to, you know, when I'm on my off time, actually doing more sufficient research to see what it is that I could be doing to certainly affect unlocking her Comrade Overdrive. But I did prefer the Nintendo Direct, because the Nintendo Direct cover all the bases, the indie, the different genres, triple A's, middle budgets. There's a lot more genres being portrayed. Obviously, farming-based RPGs kind of took over, but people want to return. They want to return to tradition. Everybody's kind of realizing the Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. But maybe I shouldn't say that, that's too much of a dog whistle, but it's also kind of a funny meme and endemic of a higher truth. So, whatever. There might be some truth to like the idea that gamers are overly entitled dudes, but there are circles that are even worse to gamers than that, and I've gone through showcases that were absolutely boring as hell. Like, why the fuck did I watch this shit? I've watched those showcases where they just showed nothing but like the weirdest indie games that had nothing of substantiated value to convey to me. So it just came across as like these AAA guys astroturfing lower budget projects under different developer names and saying, hey, oh, this is an indie game. It's not an indie game. It's like Square tried to do this with the Tokyo RPG Factory, and it didn't really yield much fruit in terms of critical reception and shit. But they were being too honest about, you know, astroturfing shit like this. Whereas some of these games, you know that there's a AAA dev behind publishing this. or even sending some of their interns to develop these things, and they're just using a different name and cutting a check off the indie market, which was picking up a lot of steam in the early 2010s and mid 2010s. But now it's like overly disproportionately placed with these like fake AstroTurf guys. I'll do power next time, but whatever. I like when it's nothing but indies, and I don't like when it's like the most generic AAA game. Like, you ever see a AAA game that was trying its hardest to be a Hollywood movie without understanding what made Hollywood so great back in the 80s, 90s, 70s? 50s and 60s and shit. But no one tries to be like 50s and 60s, so let me show what that shit. They try to be 80s and 90s. Or even then, like 2004 indie, like before there was just one genre out there. And I kind of feel for these like AAA devs that make these generic wannabe Hollywood-ass stealth action third-person shooter games, because a lot of these motherfuckers, yeah, they probably did want to break on through to Hollywood, but Hollywood is kind of stuck doing one thing and one thing only, and they don't really have a chance to showcase their skills and abilities or really go through a trial by fire experience. A lot of these directors in Hollywood, you notice they kind of start off shadowing other better directors, being editors, assistant guys, supervisors, or having one of these major dudes supervise them so that they can have their creative style truly blossom as a catalyst. So you get a bunch of guys that make mediocre crap with no vision. Maybe an interesting conveyance of ideas, but it looks like a 2010 bro film that's trying to be edgy, and it's terrible for that. Whereas if you had a Spielberg or some of these other guys shadowing them, they could probably see what their true spark is. But they can't do that because they're in the game industry now, and so many people picked up gaming around this current era. Because of these generic fake Hollywood games that are endemic of a higher demand for true, creative, varied cinema. And that's something that concerns me about the film industry. Because I see all these YouTubers who criticize films, and the demand is there for stories that actually convey ideas, and movie critics have always been better than video game critics, so you can truly see it there. When a movie critic talks about a film, he's not spending an hour comparing it to other films of the genre that he understands. He actually analyzes the themes, conveyance, finale, and what that means for the overall pervasive narrative. And there's like a good takeaway. That's how most people review stuff, whereas video game critics, they don't do that shit at all. So a lot of these guys are going to see the critical review of their game and not really pick up on anything substantiated. And that sucks, because even CinemaSins, where yourmoviesucks.org, those guys suck at what they do. But they would put a video game reviewer out the market if they actually explore these things with their level of craft and understanding. Because they actually care. And this is a problem that hits home with me because, like, even as like a student, when I used to watch game reviews, that would make my book reports and essays criticizing current events worse because I go about it the way a game reviewer would go about certain things. So there's a problem with the game reviews, there's a problem with some showcases and not having a diversity of different types of products that they showcase for different interests. It's gotten to a point where there'll be like these Western focus or Eastern focus game conferences, and it doesn't need to be that way. You can have both. Back in the day, people used to play both, but now it's like people hate weeb games, or you got guys like me that hate gaijin games. When back in the day, these things used to have some degree of synergy. The industry wasn't antagonistic to itself. That's why back in the PS1 and PS2 days, people would have fond memories for PS1 and PS2 games, be radically different, and yet there would be some degree of overlay or overlap. You don't get that anymore now. It's they have radically different stuff, but between those differences, nothing substantiative, and there is no overlap. Not unless you're paid to review games, and then you kind of become a student of the game, which I'm not at that level because I don't want to be that type of dude. I'm more interested in discussing narrative and even NBA type crap like this. But man, I love those crits. No funny shit, man. That stuff is cathartic as hell. Yuna and Riku are actually doing pretty well for themselves, all things considered, in terms of their gauges filling up. But it feels good to stream. I will say that much. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it today, and because I didn't ceremoniously announce that there might be a problem with that, you know, I was feeling like I was going to let motherfuckers down. But thankfully I didn't let anybody down. I'm out here doing my thing. All things considered, tomorrow I am looking forward to getting up at 9 a.m., 8:30 probably, to watch the game show and see what's going to be showcased there. I'm hoping that there is something for everyone. Obviously, it's going to be entirely games focused. But despite that, I'm looking for something that's has something exciting. Obviously, I want Ever Crisis, and everyone's expecting a Final Fantasy 16 trailer because they've been handing out flyers for the games or pamphlets that have what I assume is going to be the box art of the game. It looks a little like the Kingdom Hearts 1 box art with these young characters kind of posed next to each other, just chilling, overlooking a gloomy place. Someone also compared it to Final Fantasy VI, but you know, especially with how the main character has his weapon out and he's kind of standing on top of something with none by his side, and they're kind of looking at different directions, which all signify their direction in life. It definitely hits more like the Kingdom Hearts 1 thing. I did get a couple likes on Twitter for bringing that up, so I guess people noticed it and felt the same way. That's gonna be it for me in fighting Kotos. Let me switch. Hold on, let me change the light. Oh. I think I'm gonna fight a little bit of some Earth Eaters. Or I might fight Dawn Tomberry. This is not going to be a terribly long stream, by the way. Or at least I don't anticipate that this will take a long time. This is the most important thing. I got Monosphere so I can continue with her grid. I thought there was like a connecting thing, but that's just the circular pattern of that little archipelago I'm on. Little isle. Yeah, I thought this was like a link, like a semicircular link. No, it is not. It's not that big of a deal because I'm just trying to get my bases covered, but as you can tell, I actually don't even need that much in terms of stats. I'm looking for something that will surprise me. Like, show me something I didn't even expect to be excited for, because my main thing is Ever Crisis. I don't think we're going to see anything for Rebirth, because I think it's largely delegated to hosted, independent, infomercial type streams and showcases that are more on the brief end. But you know, Tactics Ogre. Square has a lot of things that they can showcase on their own individual segment. I don't mind being surprised. Show me something strange. You'd really break the internet with a showcase, or even a showcase of the animation you have working. And I am interested in some French-style animation. Like, I'm in a Franken, basically. I want some French ice cream, French animation, French women, but no, I can't be saying shit like that no more. I don't know though, but that's not really French. I'm like that girl, oui baguette. Je ou bisou. Whatever. Swang some shit my way in Tokyo Game Show. Surprise me, because you've already been coming after my wallet pretty hard, so I did not expect that you would drop something December 13th. I was thinking when you said this winter, you were talking about early 2013, not late 2022. Well, 2023, I meant early 2023. That was a little earlier than I expected. Yeah, I kinda OD'd with that. I'm hoping these karma things count. I mean, I hope that they would, because it's based off, you know, your characters taking damage, not necessarily getting attacked. When I see that window come up, that's gonna be the best for me, because I'm out here getting Riku finished up, but what would really make my day is if I can get Riku and Yuna worked on together, and then work on Kimari and Lulu afterwards. My main priority would be, you know, grinding up all these characters and getting that last trophy, and then I can maybe do a New Game Plus showcase of this game, because not a lot of people will stream the New Game Plus of this. So no one really sees the translated dialogue and shit of that nature. That'll be a cool sight. Hell, it's a learning experience for me because I haven't even seen the translated scenes, so... And plus, showcasing New Game Plus Final Fantasy X is exciting sounding because you never really see those words put together like that. People are gonna think I'm out here doing a modded stream or something of that nature, and nope. It's all technical. It's technically true, but you know, we're not out here doing a Chrono Trigger. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Let me see. Got so many options right now. So many things to do, so little time. Alright. So, the top left and like whole top side, I gotta get some work on that. The middle, the center right, I gotta work on as well. Oh man, this is exciting. Oh shit. I'm remembering some crazy ass shit, that's why I'm laughing so hard. I remember when I was in the 6th grade, there was this kid who was jumping around. So I punched him in the balls. And you know, this kid's 4 foot nothing, so I was just doing that because it was so funny, but what I didn't realize is that he had Goonie Goons, so like, they all ended up pressing me. So I'm like, okay, I'm chill. Oh man, I was so shook after that. Like, first off, why the fuck did I do that shit, but... retro... funniest thing... I hit a kid in the balls just cause he... I basically anti-aired him. Oh man. I did a Ryu from Street Fighter on his testicle. Oh man. He couldn't ground cancel. He had no aerial defense. I was so shook when those motherfuckers started posting up on me immediately afterwards. It was just like watching out there Goonie doing it. They had every right to, cause man, I had no reason to do that to that motherfucker. That shit is funny. I'm lucky, man. Thankfully, Riku is pretty deep in her luck stats, so I'm not gonna need that much, like maybe 6 or 8. She's in her 90s with that, if I recall correctly, but I might be tripping on that shit. She might be like late 70s, 80s. But that's still quite a bit. So pretty soon, I'm gonna be over the halfway point with her grid being complete. And Yuna is halfway there, so I'd be 5/7 of the way there. It'd just be Lulu and Kimahri. Which Lulu, a lot of work with her, man. I have not covered a lot of ground with her. I'm actually curious when it comes to Tita. Let me actually take a look at something. Is his still Lulu? Or does Riku and Yuna love him more? Okay, so Riku loves him more now. That's too bad, because I personally think Lulu's hotter, but... You know, it just means I can always change that around to fit my needs and preferences. So I'm gonna try to hit that right, because you know, I hit it right every now and then with fucking Lulu. Let me hit it right with Riku as well. Let me not disrespect her like that. Let her down and shit. But first, you gotta get your ass beat. Shit, I fumbled the ball she gave me. That's not a good look. I'll do that off screen though. That's just, you know, me actually role-playing as Tita. I wouldn't want to, like, let a homegirl down like that. I got 2 dark matters out of that. That's some bullshit. This motherfucker got 3 fingers, he got it bad. I saw footage of prices for Final Fantasy VII, so apparently you can't use materia anymore, which I think is fucking awesome because I hated that in Birth by Sleep and I hate it here too because that requires you to look shit up on a guide. But more so than that, when enemies get ready to charge their like pissing attacks that you can't do anything about, you can like fuck them up. So I'm no longer at their mercy. There's a gauge, and if I do heavy damage, I can keep the stun going, and if I go all the way with it, they don't do the attack anymore. So I got defensive options, and it's an opportunity damage as they're posted up. So that's whatever. See, I'm still disrespecting my girl and shit like that. Is Walk about to get hit? You know what? You deserve that shit, so. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Display status. Fuck. What's my homie doing right now? I'm about to check after the stream is done. I might have to like check once I'm getting ready to eat. Come on. Okay, so I gotta get ready for it now. I'm fucking up again. Aw, man, that sucks. Of course, he's the one who gets his ass kicked, but hey. I feel hot as shit. Ooh. Got your ass. Our moment of truth. That's right, I got the fortune sphere, so. 100 free? There you go, 100 free luck, so it's usually around 107, 108, 109, 110. Been that standard deviation where you get the definitive luck. So that means I probably need one more level 4 key sphere. It's gonna be around here somewhere. Alright, what's this right here? 20 MP, let's go. So let me take a look and see where stars are at. I know there's like one down here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. That ain't it. That ain't it. This might be it. Okay. Looking like it's gonna be wrapped up real soon. So now we gotta deal with Dawn Tomberry. Yuna. Alright, let's go. Let's go. You just block. Actually, hold on, I'm curious. I want to see something. It's counterproductive, but I do want to see... Will she be able to do like all the 9s? Oh no, not with her weapon. So I'm cutting in a little with her MP or AP. But I don't recall how high her strength is. She's EXP'd up. Now the journey continues. Oh yeah. Let me actually look at it. So she does have her strength almost maxed out. Her magic defense is actually maxed out, which surprises her regular defense, so if she does fight what's his face again, Shinryu, she'll actually be a killer. Her agility is soft blocked. And the only thing at that point that changes is turn priority. Agility ain't nothing but a fan. Anyway, let's see. Oh shit. Didn't mean to do that, man. That was a slip of the fingers. Man, I wish I had my friends with me while I was playing this, because they would be making moaning noises. See? Hold up. I can picture it right now. Hold on, I don't have monospheres? Yeah, I have monospheres. I fought Kotos multiple times over. I can just picture them like getting fake aroused at my progression at the moment. You know what I noticed about this game and Star Ocean 3 is that both games, they build up this customization feature and how important it is and how diversely you can build your weapons, but towards the end there's really just a few sets of things that truly matter when it comes to making your character OP, and everything else is superfluous or even detrimental to a hype for the character. Now, of course, in Star Ocean 3's case, it's just how much strength matters in that game, just raw attack power. It's actually ridiculous. I've seen people try diverse builds and they say that it's actually enjoyable for them, but not for me though. I need those big ooga booga numbers. Alright. This little island right here is almost built up to the brim. I got one fortune sphere. Is this the one with the one? Yep. So I'm gonna need another one. I have to fight Earth Eater again. For endgame luck will be 108. All things considered, that's pretty good. In fact, so I don't have to fight him again. Let me just use a Master Sphere on that. It wouldn't really be that much of a waste. Alright. So that's gonna do it for today. Stream. In fact, let me actually check the time myself, how long I was doing this. This was... ...2 minutes divorce from an hour. So you gotta enjoy a little bit of brevity from me. Obviously, I might have a cheat day on, provided I don't end up contributing to one of my friends' streams. In fact, hold on, let me check to see what my friends are doing. When I was making that friend analogy before, I was talking about my elementary, not my... Okay, let's see. I'm gonna actually do a raid, even me.